I want to start with some comments that Ochocinco made over the weekend. He was on the Nightcap podcast with Shannon Sharpe and had a bit of a Freudian slip mentioning the specific player he had talked to, but he said that's not the only player he had spoken with about Shedeur Sanders. So this is Ochocinco talking to Shannon Sharpe about a conversation he had with a Browns player regarding the Browns' rookie quarterback.
What happens when one of the NFL's top-tier cornerbacks breaks the unwritten rule and accidentally lets the truth slip out about what's really going down in Cleveland? Denzel Ward wasn't supposed to drop Chad Ochocinco. Johnson definitely wasn't supposed to say anything on live TV. But when a fifth-round rookie QB starts doing things that make even grizzled vets stop and go, "What did I just see?" Yeah, sometimes the truth just leaks out. The whispers coming out of the Browns facility, they're getting louder. And what they're saying about Shedeur Sanders could flip this quarterback battle on its head. This isn't just preseason buzz. These takes are coming straight from guys who line up against elite QBs every single day. And guess what? They're all saying the same thing. Hey, looks different. Let me set the scene for you. It all went down on Shannon Sharpe's Nightcap podcast, and now the entire Browns front office is probably scrambling to clean up the aftermath. Ochocinco's just chilling on the show, real casual, talking about convos he's had with players inside the Browns locker room. And then, boom, the name slips out, Shedeur Sanders. And once that genie's out of the bottle, there's no stuffing it back in.
About it, I got a couple of young bulls out there. I talked to Denzel Ward. I talked to some, but I didn't say the name. But anyway, I done talked to some people. He looked different. There's a difference when that young bull is out there spinning that ball. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Difference. I'm talking about football. I ain't talking about no media and all that hoopla and all them, on Twitter, they putting up the numbers. Some he with 10 for 12 for 2 touchdowns. I'm talking about when he's at the helm, he looks different. Whether he's going with the first team, second team, or third team, it don't matter. I understand getting drafted in the 5th round. All that means nothing when it's time to play football and that whistle blows. He looks different than the rest of the competition. That's what I heard.
All right, folks, buckle up. Because what started as a normal off-season update turned into something way bigger. And it all began with a slip of the tongue. Everything was going smoothly until the guest on a popular Browns podcast dropped a line that made everybody stop in their tracks. I got a couple young bulls out there. I talked to Denzel Ward. Boom. That was it. The moment everything changed. You could see it on his face. The instant realization. Oops, probably shouldn't have said that. But it was too late. The secret was out. Denzel Ward, one of the most respected leaders on the Browns defense, a guy who's gone head-to-head with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, had been chatting with former NFL players about a rookie quarterback. And not just any rookie, Shedeur Sanders. And what's being said? Oh, just that he looks different. We're not talking about media buzz or fan hype. This is coming from the mouths of players who've seen it all. Ochocinco breaks it down. You can tell when a young bull is spinning that rock for real. I ain't talking about social media clips. I'm talking about when he's actually under center, commanding an offense. First team, second team, third team, it don't matter. He just looks different. Now hold up. Let's pause and unpack that. This isn't some 5th-round rookie getting pats on the back for completing simple throws and drills. This is a dude who's turning veterans' heads. So much so that they're reaching out to media guys just to say, "Hey, you need to keep an eye on this kid. This isn't normal." And then it gets crazier. Ochocinco makes it clear Ward ain't the only one. There are multiple voices, multiple players, saying the same thing. Guys who are on the field, in the room, seeing this up close. It doesn't matter that Sanders went in the 5th round. Once that whistle blows, it's all about how you perform. And apparently, this kid is outplaying everybody. NFL insider Zach Jackson chimed in too. He went back, watched the tape, reviewed every game. His takeaway? I said this guy can throw the football. And guess what? This offseason, he's doing exactly what I expected him to do. And he's not alone. Kurt Warner has said it. Bernie Kosar, a Browns legend who knows what it takes to play QB in Cleveland, said it. Drew Bledsoe, who spent his career around elite QB talent, says there's something special brewing. So here's the million-dollar question: if Sanders is so good, why isn't he getting any first-team reps? According to the podcast, Shedeur Sanders is currently QB4 on the depth chart. You read that right. You're behind Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Now the conspiracy theories are flying. Are the Browns trying to keep this under wraps? Is this a strategic move to protect their potential franchise QB from the chaos of media hype? Or are they just missing the forest for the trees again? Because here's the truth. Sanders hasn't taken a single first-team rep in OTAs or mandatory minicamp. Zero, zilch, nada. For a guy who's making veterans whisper and analysts rave, that's either pure genius or front office malpractice. The host of the ultimate Cleveland sports show laid out a solid theory. Maybe, just maybe, the Browns want Sanders to earn it. They want to make sure no one can say he was handed the job, so that when he does get his shot, it's undeniable. But let's be real. Browns fans are still nursing scars from last year. Week after week of coach Kevin Stefanski standing in front of microphones insisting Deshaun Watson gave them the best chance to win. And we all remember how that went. The coaching staff lost a lot of credibility. So now the fan base is asking, can we even trust them to evaluate QBs anymore? One of the podcast hosts said it best, they didn't just miss last year, they missed by a mile. So why should we believe them now? Sanders is walking into a quarterback room with more questions than answers. But here's the twist, the players are rooting for him. That wasn't the case last year. According to the podcast, guys were fed up with Deshaun Watson, but they had to roll with him anyway. This time, it's different. You've got respected veterans like Ward speaking up. You've got players wanting to see Sanders succeed. That says a lot. So what's next? Training camp. Joint practices with the Eagles and Panthers in August. And those aren't walkthroughs. Those are real deal knock your helmet off type reps. The podcasters are begging for it. Let him go against Carolina's starting defense. Better yet, give him all 4 quarters of the first preseason game. Let him show us what he can do. Because if Sanders is the real deal, that's when we'll know. No more padded stats and shorts. No more practice hero hype. We're talking live bullets. Real football. And that brings us to the question that's got Browns fans up at night. What if he really is different? What if the whispers are true? What if the Browns found their franchise quarterback in the 5th round while every other team overthought it? Think back to last season. The QB situation was a disaster. Watson couldn't stay healthy. Flacco had flashes, but nothing consistent. It was a revolving door at the most important position in sports. Now, out of nowhere, you've got this rookie making so much noise that veterans are breaking locker room code just to talk about him. You've got former NFL stars and analysts all pointing in the same direction. You've got a coaching staff that's either being incredibly patient or incredibly stubborn. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If Shedeur Sanders really is that good, the Browns might have accidentally solved a problem they've been chasing since the 90s. But then come the hard questions. How did 31 teams miss on him multiple times? Why didn't the Browns draft him earlier? How long can you keep a guy like this on the bench before fans, players, and the whole league start asking why? The podcasters were honest. They said player opinions don't make depth charts. Coaches do. Fair. But when players are seeing this kid torch top-tier defenses, when he's making highlight throws under real pressure, that's when opinions start to matter. If he pump fakes, gets Garrett off his feet, rolls out, and drops a dime in the back of the end zone on Denzel Ward and Jamari Thrash, that's when people start talking. So where are we heading into camp? Rookie QB drafted in the 5th round turning heads. Multiple legit sources saying he stands out from the crowd. A coaching staff that might be too cautious or too blind. And a desperate fan base looking for hope. Timeline's clear. By August, during joint practices, we'll see what Sanders is made of. By preseason, we'll know if he's got that in-game fire. And by week 1, we'll know if the Browns finally broke their QB curse, or if this was just another mirage. Here's what makes this different. The players believe. When someone like Denzel Ward, who goes up against elite quarterbacks every season, is saying this rookie looks different, that's not nothing. The question now isn't whether Shedeur Sanders is talent. The question is, will the Browns recognize it in time? Because the whispers are getting louder, the pressure is building, and whether Cleveland likes it or not, their franchise quarterback might already be on the roster, sitting at QB4. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Sanders the guy, or just another training camp flash? Hit that like, smash subscribe, and turn on the notifications, because you're going to want to see what happens when this rookie finally gets his shot. The NFL always reveals the truth, and if Denzel Ward is right, Cleveland might be about to witness something special.